Don't waste my time. Hey, you go in without this, you're dead. Hey, stupid! Over here!
Hostiles detected below street level.
Hey, ready for some action, yo?
Warning. Additional hostiles incoming. Warning. Additional hostiles incoming.
Make sure they can't get away! Oh, shit! Go get him!
Got the medic safely across. Candle and all staff accounted for. No casualties.
Oh! Man down! Those bastards! I'll kill you all!
Warning. Additional hostiles in.